They said she was the reason everyone died. They said tragedy followed her breath, that misfortune learned her name before she ever learned to speak. They said if she had never arrived, the fire would not have burned, the screams would not have echoed, the graves would not have been filled. But she was only a baby, a child left behind in the ashes of a kindness that destroyed a family. The year was 1903. In the village of Hollowmere, people slept early and trusted no one. Doors were locked before nightfall. Windows were shuttered tight. Because in Hollowmere, nothing good ever arrived after dark. So when Thomas Calder heard desperate knocking at his door just past midnight, his heart didn't leap with concern. It tightened with fear. Standing on his doorstep was a woman soaked through by rain, her dress heavy with water, her body bent beneath the weight of pregnancy. Her breath came uneven. Her eyes darted into the darkness behind her as if something was still following. She said she only needed one night. She begged him to let her stay. Thomas knew the rules of Hollowmere. Strangers brought trouble. But he also knew desperation. He recognized it because once, long ago, it had worn his face too. Thunder rolled behind her. Rain poured from the sky as if the world itself was passing judgment. And against everything the village had taught him, against the quiet voice of fear in his chest, Thomas Calder opened the door. The woman barely spoke after that. She ate quietly by the fire, her hands trembling, her eyes flicking toward the windows at every sound. Sleep never truly came. She woke at creaking floorboards, at wind against the walls, at silence itself. And just before dawn, she screamed. By the time the sun rose, the woman was gone. So was Thomas's home. Only charred beams remained. Smoke curled into the pale morning sky like a warning that came too late. Thomas stood in the ruins where laughter had once lived. His son was gone. His daughter-in-law was gone. And then, through the smoke and the silence and the loss, a newborn baby cried. No one ever found the woman again. Only the child she left behind. Thomas named the baby Eliza Gray. He raised her beside his orphaned grandson Jonah, though grief had hollowed him in ways words never could. The village never forgot that night. They remembered the fire, the stranger, and the child. They watched Eliza grow as if tragedy followed her shadow. Whispers followed her footsteps. Eyes lingered too long. They said she was cursed. They said she came with death. Eliza heard the story again and again, but never the truth. So she learned to lower her eyes, to walk quietly, to take up as little space as possible, because in Hollowmere, silence was safer than questions. By the time Eliza was 10, she believed it. She believed that somehow, without memory or choice, she had caused it all. When crops failed, she felt the stares. When illness spread, she heard her name whispered. She carried guilt for a night she could not remember. Only Jonah ever defended her. He reminded her that she had been just a baby, but Hollowmere did not care about reason. It cared about blame. And blame, once chosen, never lets go. One winter evening, as rumors of war filled the air, Thomas finally spoke. His voice trembled with words he had carried for too long. He told her the woman had not been running from danger. He said she had been the danger. She had been hunted for what she knew, for secrets tied to powerful men who burned truth to keep it silent. The fire had not been an accident. It had been a warning. He told Eliza that the woman had not abandoned her. He told her she had saved her. Thomas died that night, and with him went the last shield between Eliza and the village. War came. Jonah left to fight. Eliza stayed behind, alone in a place that had never wanted her. She worked until her hands hardened. She endured hunger, cold, and silence. She survived, not because she was cursed, but because she was strong. Years later, Eliza left Hollowmere forever. She never returned, but the village remembered her, not as the child who brought death, but as the girl who survived everything they could not. Some children inherit names. Others inherit blame. Eliza Gray inherited survival.